As always, the most important factor of Destiny 2 is usually the weapons that you use with your specific loadouts. From season to season, the meta continually changes, so looking at the top 10 most popular and most used weapons for that season is definitely very important. Just a couple weeks ago, I posted the top 10 most popular legendary weapons being used. So in today's video, I'm covering the top 10 most popular exotic weapons to use. Now, depending on what loadout you're using, you can definitely take advantage of at least a couple of these top 10 most popular exotics. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this list. And starting off with number 10, we have the Choir of One. Now, ever since the Choir of One has come out, it has definitely been one of the best exotics in the game. And to this day, it is still up there as definitely one of the best special weapon exotics in the entire game. This thing is an absolute monster. And when you put the destabilizing rounds trait on it, this thing will shred any single yellow bar, boss, mini boss, whatever it is, this thing will absolutely destroy them in just a matter of seconds. Pair this with some ammo synths, get extra ammo drops. This thing is, one of the best guns to be using in whatever scenario that you're using it in. Whether it's a raid, a Vanguard strike, or the seasonal missions, this thing is just a complete monster. Now, this weapon to get is definitely quite a bit of a chore. But once you finish the Encore and, finish all the quests and get those destabilizing rounds, this weapon will definitely be one of your most favorite weapons to use. So if you still haven't done that, the Choir of One is definitely worth the time. So go and grab it if you haven't yet. Moving on to weapon number 9, we have one of the oldest exotics that is in Destiny 2. One of the first ones that came to the game, and that is the Sunshot. Now, everyone can agree that the Sunshot has been on everyone's list as one of their go-to, exotic hand cannons to use in pretty much any encounter in the game. With its intrinsic sunburn, which, basically just applies scorch to them. You've got the Sunblast, which makes them explode when they die. This thing is just a complete monster. Bungie tried to nerf it, but it didn't do anything. It's still one of the best exotic hand cannons in the game, and everyone has it, everyone's using it. The Sunshot is just a very solid hand cannon to use. Moving on here into weapon number 8, we have the Delicate Tomb. Now, this exotic has been sort of on the back burner, and, everyone got it and then just threw it in their vault. However, with this season being a, arc-orientated season, the Delicate Tomb is actually an extremely useful weapon for anyone running an arc sort of subclass. Basically, the way this gun works is, however you kill them, it spawns and generates ionic traces, which then track back to you, and, pretty much just refill all of your energy bars. Ionic traces are extremely useful for, any arc subclass, and the Delicate Tomb just prints ionic traces to, refund all those arc abilities that you're running. And of course, being a fusion rifle, it definitely hits like a truck, pretty much shreds any, yellow bar or red bars, and it is extremely useful. So if you haven't got this one, you can just go to the Exotic Archive and just go and buy it. It's a pretty useful exotic, a very decent fusion rifle as is, and I'd definitely give it a try if you haven't. Moving over here into weapon number 7, we have the Graviton Lance, or better known as the Gravy Train. Now, this is by far the best pulse rifle in the game, and it is definitely deserves a spot as an exotic. This thing is just a complete monster. Everyone knows about the Graviton Lance. We've all been using it for months now. Any Void build for any, class, Warlock, Titan, Hunter, it's just amazing. Its perk, Cosmology, spawns Void projectiles that track and kill enemies. The Black Hole, it makes enemies just blow up on kill. It does massive damage. The Graviton Lance is seriously one of the best exotics in the game. And if for some reason you still aren't using it, definitely go ahead and start using it. It is by far one of the best exotic pulse rifles in the game. In at number 6 here, we have a newish exotic. We have the Lodestar, which came out with this episode. Now, this Lodestar is a trace rifle. However, it has infinite ammo, which makes it a very sought after and very usable exotic. Unlike other trace rifles do have an ammo, problem. They run out of ammo quite fast, but the Lodestar doesn't have this problem. Now, what makes this weapon amazing is the fact that dealing arc damage with the gun or your subclass, whatever arc damage you have, it will charge up this gun, which allows you to alternate fire and basically deal more damage and jolt every enemy around you. This makes it extremely useful because jolt does a lot of damage to enemies, and overall this thing hits like a truck, has unlimited ammo, can jolt enemies. It works extremely well with all of your arc subclasses this episode. This weapon is seriously easy to get. It's just straight away from the battle pass at level 1. It's amazing. Go ahead and try it with your arc subclass if you haven't already. Moving on here into weapon number 5, we have the Queenbreaker. Now, the Queenbreaker has definitely excelled here as one of the best linear fusion rifles in the entire game at the current stage. We have plenty of artifact perks that help this weapon out, but it recently got a catalyst that gives it rewind rounds, and it's intrinsically going to increase your rate of fire as you kill and, damage bosses and other enemies. And this thing just absolutely shreds enemies. And the Queenbreaker's bow is definitely one exotic to get if you haven't got it already. and also try and farm out for that catalyst. Personally, I haven't got the catalyst yet, and I definitely do need to farm it out, but the Queenbreaker is definitely excelling up there as one of the best linear fusion rifles in the game, and just overall a great exotic to be using. Moving on here into weapon number 4, we have the Le Monarch, or the Lemon, whatever you want to call it. It's just overall a great bow to be using. It has built-in intrinsic overload champions, which already makes it a wonderful exotic to be using in any loadout for any, champions, Grandmaster Nightfalls, whatever it is. With its ability to poison enemies, and when you get precision hits, it spreads that poison around the battlefield, this thing is just a monster for dealing damage. It is also Void here, so if you're using any sort of Void subclass, one of my favorite builds in the game is still the Hunter Gyro Falcons. With this bow, it just spreads poison everywhere, you get volatile rounds. It is one of the best builds in the entire game, as you can see from some of the footage on the screen right now. This bow is just amazing, and you should definitely be using it, especially if you're a hunter. I feel like it's one of the better classes to be using bows with. Now, like I said earlier as well, it has intrinsic overload, which just makes exotics even better than they already are when they have an intrinsic perk on them. Moving on to the top 3 here now. In at number 3, we have the Thunderlord. Yes, Destiny 2's meme gun. However, with this season being an arc season, the Thunderlord definitely excels in this category. The Thunderlord is definitely one of, if not the best exotic machine guns in the game. And let's just be real here, it definitely does shred bosses if you use it properly, get the debuffs up, and this weapon is seriously good. On top of this, it also excels at killing enemies with, its thunder strikes, it jolts. It's just an amazing, overall, very solid machine gun. And if you're not using an exotic and you look for a decent machine gun, the Thunderlord is definitely a good category to fill that slot. Moving on here into number 2, one weapon that we have not seen anywhere in the near top 10 list for the exotics for many, many years now. We have the Lord of Wolves. Now, the Lord of Wolves, for some reason, just got absolutely giga-buffed this season, and currently it is actually just broken. When you hit by this gun, it shoots full auto, and it just shreds enemies, bosses, mini-bosses, whatever you want. The Lord of Wolves is just super strong, and you should definitely be using it while it is completely busted. I assume next season it's probably going to get a slight nerf, because it is just completely broken at the moment. And coming in at number 1, we have the brand new exotic Barrow Dyad, which came out with this episode. Now, this is probably number 1 because it is, a new exotic. Everyone's trying it out, seeing how good it is, working with it and whatnot. But overall, this weapon is still arguably one of the best strand primary weapons in the game, and it actually deals some really good single target damage, and it is actually quite a cool gun to be using. Now, once you've got all the catalysts for it, the PvE gold roll that I would most likely run for, any activity is definitely with the target lock catalyst. This just increases the damage by a large amount. You can also run one for all, however I would probably just stick to target lock. This is roughly give or take a 40% damage boost, and it makes this weapon definitely worth using. Now, like I said, I have been quite slack with this gun and I still haven't got it, so I don't really have any footage of it. But if you've been playing this episode, you definitely will know what this gun is, and you probably have it, so it's definitely worth getting it if you haven't got it. But anyway, Guardians, that will wrap the list up there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.